All right, kids. We're shooting another video. I went from barely shooting any video for years to like now I'm kind of getting like a little momentum. And being a YouTube person, and I really like YouTube. I watch most of these guys that are really successful on YouTube. And they have like a certain kind of like there's formats and there's ways that they market things and they do all their collabs and all that stuff. And I'm just not that guy. So more than anything, I just do this because I enjoy it, and I do it because I hope that it helps somebody. Because I know I've learned a lot on YouTube. I mean, man, I've learned so much between YouTube, Gear Sluts, Facebook, Google, Rig Talk. You know what I mean? Like, I've learned so much. Jeez, unbelievable. So, anyway, so that's why I'm doing this. Not trying to, I don't know. Because sometimes I feel like I watch these guys' videos and they're all so polished, and it's like there's all this like massive intention in the video, and it's all really sales stuff. At the end of the day, they're selling something, which I guess in a sense I'm selling something. I'm selling like, hey, look at me, I'm cool. I don't know, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna be that guy that like probably ever is like the polished YouTube guy that has like 100,000 subscribers, and that's just not for me. So we are where we are, but there's good knowledge here, and I'm known on the internet as the guy that had the greatest amp shootout in the history of the planet. I had an amp shootout, and at that amp shootout was 88 of the best amps, and Reinhold Bogner was there, Dave Friedman was there, Mark Cameron was there. Like, where'd he come from, right? Delana Nova was there. Yeah, there were tons of amp builders were there. So it was a unique weekend. So anyway, the last few months has been an exploration in getting better at things and learning things and to stay teachable. That's the hardest thing in this game, especially as you get older. And if you have any kind of success, is that you become unteachable, and then you get stuck. So we're trying not to get stuck here. So we're going to go through a little bit of the stuff that I've learned over the last few months, kind of get Will up to speed. The guitar rig has completely been revolutionized. It's been revolutionized, and it's the same all at the same time. The guitar rig is this is the best rig I've ever had. It's just unbelievable. I've got the rack here, the pedal board. I've got all the Mobius and Flashback and Wamplers and Big Sky. I know how to use everything. I also have the guitar synth, and I've gotten much better with a lot of these pedals. And like I've said in some of these videos over the last few months, I've kind of been like buy something, like move a few knobs. Okay, that sounds cool. And then just like, kind of go with that for like years and years and years. And I'm never been really a technology person in a certain way, and very much just a guitar player and a singer, so, but we're evolving. So, and then I have a laptop over here that I've brought back from the dead, an old MacBook Pro, and we have Nixie and Nero. How come I can't say those without laughing, Will?
I don't know.
Are they funny to you, or is it just me?
I mean, they are weird names for what they are.
But... Right. Let me just make sure that stop video. Okay, so Camtasia's going. But they're not as weird as they are to me, are they? Yeah, we're going. Okay. All right, so anyway, what Nixie does is it runs the Mobius and the Big Sky. And if I had a timeline, it would run that, but I have a Flashback X4. So I can, get all my modulation and reverb kind of over here. And then I also have a Wampler Terraform that I really like, but that's more of a knob turnery. Is that a word? Knob turnery kind of thing. It's like here's your chorus and you get it to sound. The Mobius and the Big Sky are more, I don't know. Like to me, the Wampler's a JCM 800, and the Mobius and the Big Sky are like an Axe Effects or a Line 6. They have like banks, and So for me to get onto the software, everything's right there, and it's easy, and I'm blind, so it's perfect. It's easy. So that's Nixie, and that's all set up through MIDI, and it works perfect. And then I've got Nero, which runs the C4, which is the Source Audio guitar synth. And if you've never tried this thing, you guys should try it. It is such a cool unit. It tracks so well. It sounds so cool. And, after learning all about synthesizers by studying, Serum and Omnisphere and MPC and all this, it's very simple. It's the way it's laid out. It's perfect. It's easy, and it comes with a software that has, has the synths are just stacked up. It's just like there's your saw wave, sine wave here, that filter, that, same stuff. And it comes with 6 presets from the factory that are all really cool. And then it's got like 122 empty slots. And they have a user thing through the site, through the app, where all the users upload their favorites, and it shows you by so you can just click by users and get like bassline from Flashlight, the funk, so it's good for bass too. And then if you like it, you can just throw it onto one of your banks, and then you've got it in your preset, and then you can tweak it and save it, and so it holds up to 128. Very cool. Guitar rig is in full effect. Now the Sans amp, which we're going to start right here because this is kind of where we left off. The Sans amp was over here on the pedal board, and I was running my bass through the whole system. It was just no bueno. First of all, over here down on the board flat, I couldn't see the knobs on the Sans amp. Now the Sans amp's right here, and it's up like this, so like literally it's like it's standing up. And I've got look what I got behind it. Boxing wraps. Holding it up, and they actually stick to it because there's Velcro on the back. And isn't that perfect, Will?
Yeah.
And now I got my Sans amp's right here, and it's going straight out of the Sans amp right into the patch bay, straight into the Burl B2. And then I'm going out the DI part, which I don't really, there's like 2 outs. One of them goes straight in. One of them's going into the A Designs KGB. It's like an instrument DI. And I've EQ'd a little bit. And so they sound slightly different. Not big difference, but here's bass straight out to the Sans amp. Straight from the Sans amp into the nice sound, and I backed off the level a little bit because I was sending it in with not only too much gain, but it felt, sometimes with amps, like there's that sweet spot. Like people that like to like dime amps, like I've never liked that sound. Sometimes it's cool, I guess, if that's your thing. I mean, it can be cool, but I've never, it's never really agreed with my sense of music. I don't know, well, I guess like a Plexi, it's cool, but certain amps, like you just get them up a little too hot, and it's like, it feels like it's choking. So I ended up backing off the Sans amp, so it's a little less gain. And I really like that. And then here's the straight DI out to the KGB. I guess in a sense, it's almost the same. I don't know, whatever. I don't know. And then, I put a little distortion track on it here, just another Sans amp, because I had Decapitator on there. Man, I just like this. See, Decapitator, I don't know, man. I've struggled with that plug. I've had that thing for years. It just sometimes I don't know. Sometimes it's cool. A lot of times I just don't like the way it sounds. It's like too lumbery, or it's too, I don't know, it's too musty. Smells like right before I need a shower. do you think, Will? No?
I'm thinking of other things.
Okay. Here's a little
When it gets
Sans.
musty.
Yeah, he's thinking of other things. So you can add in a little bit, and we're kind of tag teaming on the last bunch of, videos, and we're going to get off the bass right now. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of recap it. And bass amp and bass distortion are all coming over from a Bus 10. I also put a trim on the top and flipped the phase. It just sounded better. I don't know if there's a little bit of latency, and it just sounds better. And then the last is this track here is a bass amp, which there is no bass amp. See, we're losing volume. Why is that? See, I think because without any plug-in on here, that trim being flipped is creating like a polarity imbalance. So no bueno here. But then if you engage the SVT, like the UA SVT, yeah, it sounds out of phase. You hear that?
Yeah.
Now if you come here and you flip the phase on it. See what I mean? So basically the way it works is if you're running out this DI and you're using it without an amp and you've got the trim flipped, you got problems. But that's not the point of this track. So here is the SVT. Is that killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. And then here's and these are all the UA. And I have all the IK multimedia stuff, the amplitude, and it's really nice, but everything with UA just is better, in my opinion. The IK B15 is nice, and the SVT, but this is just the Mojo. And here's the B15, little yellow dot there. Not sure what that is, but in 66 mode. It's like burpy sounding. I like that. And then SVT. That sounds so. I've had about 6 of those things in my life. It sounds exactly like an SVT. Yeah, and then the last is the GK. Yeah, and I mean, there's an effects rack, and the GK's cool. It's cleaner. It's a little more hi-fi. This might be nicer for, I don't know, pop stuff, country, sometimes country stuff. But anyway, there you go. So that is the bass rig in full effect with the SVT. And you know, a little bit of distortion or fuzz on the bass seems off-putting like this soloed, but in a track it's really nice. And Joe Barresi has this instructional DVD that he put out a number of years ago, which you guys should check it out. It is so good. I think Markham Entertainment, Markham something made it or produced it. But one thing I did notice, like, he's got his SSL out, and there's a huge chunk is bass. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, whoa. Now, granted, that's his thing. I mean, he does like Tool and those kind of bands with all of. But man, he had so many bass tracks, and I was just realizing, like, it is really important. Mm-hmm. So anyway, there's kind of our bass. This is our bass template. What do you think? Any questions out there? Any questions, Will?
No.
All right. Moving on.
Simple and effective.
Yeah, it really is. That's such a clean sound, such a nice sound. Really digging it, just simple with the Sans amp and the KGB DI and just straight. Nice.
It is weird how the amp plugins flip the phase of it.
Well, because there's probably just enough latency where it's like while it's going up,
Yeah.
then the other one's coming down. You know what I mean? Like they're lined up because it's getting fed the same thing, but because it's going out, well, because the bus is not creating anything, because if you flip the phase without the plug-in on, it's whack. So the bus itself is fine. The busing is an issue when you're recording, which we'll get into with the guitars. We'll fire that up real quick. But yeah, once you put the plug-in in, you get probably just enough variation of, with latency that flipping it is nice. And, none of this is really an exact science. Now here's our simple guitar. Look at this. This is our super simple guitar template. Guitar 1 through 12. 1, 2, 1, 2. You see it, they're in groups. Inputting 1, 2, 1, 2. And we're using now this Allen and Heath Mix Wizard mixer. And all right, we have no latency. And we had a couple of pedals that were causing some aggravation in tracking for me, like I don't even know what's the latency. It wasn't as tight sounding. Those pedals, where'd they go, Will?
Trash.
Well, trash, but out.
Yeah.
OUT, gone. Yeah. So now the setup is just. Let's plug in real quick, because I think I have everything on. I have everything. Oh! Yeah, because I was messing with this last night. So this is going to be real quick. You want to shut that door? All right, so now this is the tone bone in one. Yeah, there you go. So now if you take tone bone and you unlift the ground, yeah, you can hear it kick in. Mm-hmm. So we can just use this as a standard thing. Do you see what I mean? It always gives us a nice lift. Yeah, you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Keep in mind we're also on a Stratocaster, so we're getting a little bit of schmutz anyway, and then there you go. Cap 1 is AC30, Cap 2 is JMP. This. Beautiful. Then you can really trip this out. So what I basically did was, when you're using multiple amps, a lot of times you have to lift the ground on one of the amps. And a lot of times you have to lift the ground on one of the amps, because like 2 amps grounding together kind of cancels out the ground, but not always. It's a really weird thing. But what I did was I took amp 2 out of the Big Sky and went into the radial tone bone through channel 2, which has a ground lift. So now I can lift it right at the radial. Let's see. 1 is AC30. Yeah, that's what's weird, because normally it's the other way around. It's AC30, and here is JMP. We can do ping pong. Oh, we can't do ping pong. Wait a second. Did I do ping pong right? And then we got the whole thing. So here's Mobius. A little ping pong. Mobius off. So once you engage the Mobius or the Big Sky one time, then for the rest of the day you can now just engage it. And I did a track the other day with the Bloom. That's Cloud. We get rid of Big Sky and get rid of the, and then here's like the Wampler. Here's the Wampler in Dimension D. So anyway, that's basically the setup, and I've got all kinds of stuff. Here's the synth. I'm going to show you this and then we're done. We'll move on. Here is Nero, the synth. Oh, there we go. Yeah. And then these are the ones. Anyway, we're moving on. Guitar template is in full effect. I also changed the I/O, so I've went through all these templates and imported the fresh I/O because a couple things we did different in the mix template. We'll go through this really quick. It's kind of an overview. A lot of it's kind of for him, for you, for me, for you guys. Also, just kind of putting closure. We're putting closure to things. You can tell I've been hanging out in East Nashville. I'm putting closure to things. Oh my God! All right, let's do this really quick. It's going to be another long video, but you know what? After this, I think really seriously, the videos will be more focused because, like right now, the videos are kind of like completely, they're the scope of everything that we do because we've kind of changed everything and revamped some things. I sold my PCM42. That was like one sentence. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah, had that going for me. Sold PCM42. Nice delay. I'm over it though. The less hardware, the better for me. Plus, I've been watching all these pop videos. I'm mixing pop, like the Austin Hull, and and these guys they're all using. A lot of them just use H delay, and like some they just filter and little, they do that 8-bit. Have you gotten into that bit crushing on delays?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
It's cool. Because it kind of sends them back into the mix. So.
Yeah, exactly. And they just sound, they sound crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so if we come here to the I/O, the new I/O we call it Dim D. And there's Dim D. This is the current updated I/O in. Keeping track of this I/O has been a challenge in this studio because we have had some I/O issues for as long as I can remember, but I think that I've finally overcome it. Whoa. See, isn't this weird? Like every now and then I get this bizarre, I think that's some Slate plugin. It's not even on here. Maybe, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. It pops up once in a while. Anyway, we're back. So yeah, we got rid of the quarter delay. Yeah?
We got some eggs from Erica and Aaron.
Okay, we got what?
Eggs from Erica
Okay,
and Aaron.
just put them in the house and
Oh, we
I'll.
also got our containers back.
Okay, all right, cool.
Well,
What am I doing? All right, where was I? Okay, so yeah, we got rid of the quarter delay, sold it, Put on H delay. We also got rid of that. I had a stack of plugins to make a doubler. Like when I got rid of my old H3000, I have two H3000. I've kept one. I sold one about 2 years ago. And I put together this plugin. Actually, this dude, a Belmont dude, what was his name? I can't remember. Jameson Force. He put together this plugin chain to simulate the doubler, and it was really nice. But then, like, been studying mixing with this Make Pop Music guy, YouTube. He just uses the Slate or the UA like Dimension. I mean, it sounds so good. Done. But it's not called Dimension D anymore. I never get the memo on any of this stuff. It's not called Studio D. I was trying to figure out why I couldn't find Dimension D. Apparently, Universal Audio, their licensing with Roland ran out and didn't get renewed, so now it's a new name. But this is a nice. This sounds great. And I'll put a little S1 after it, kind of widen it, gives it a little bit more. Woo! Great for like guitars, great for pop background vocals, great for vocals. Mm-hmm. You can put it on a little bit on overheads. You can do all kinds of stuff. And then the H3000, we've changed, instead of calling it Split Harmonizer, which was the preset we've been on since the dawn of man, it's now called H3000 because we can mess with it now in the mixes and change it. And then I set up a track here. It's disabled right now, but it's a H3P, H3 print, and then this prints over to it. So once we get done at the end of the mix, we can print the H3000, so then we don't have to try to recall it in case we do anything funky. And then we'll have a print of it, and it works perfect. Yeah, a couple other things, nothing too noteworthy. Went back to just simple Waves SSLs on a lot of this stuff. I had too many plugins. It was, I mean, my rig is already being pushed to the max, as you can see. This HDX card, and we haven't even pulled in the tracks. But this is the majority of the jam of it. The tracks themselves don't have a lot going on most of the time. They're bussed to all these buses, and then they have a bunch of stuff, and it's already all here. So. But anyway, that's it. And we went to just subs, just the buses of everything. And we took out any tracks that we had in here that you could overlay in the template. Just pull this in, route everything. Takes 5 minutes. Hit play. 10 minutes later, mix already sounds pretty good usually, And we're doing the Brower thing. We're doing the multi-bussing, 1176 hardware, and this Fairchild. UA, and I got them set pretty similar, so they same output volume, same hitting. So as you hit them harder, they kind of go together. What's up?
Hey, Dada.
I love you. You all right, buddy?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Huh?
What's going on?
We're coding a game.
Okay. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna come in and we'll catch up with you guys. All right?
Coding like a game where they're driving a car and aliens are shooting at them.
They're driving a car and aliens are shooting at them.
On the moon.
On the moon? Whoa. And they call me weird. Anyway, there it is. So that's kind of our updates on this. We cleaned up this thing. It's using a fair amount less DSP than it was. So that's good, right?
Yeah.
What else? I mean, that's it. Vocal template. Guitar template we did, drum template's the same. This is our little mix template that has tracks in it to experiment with, but we're done there. And then the next thing, let's see how long we are into this video. We probably can chop some of this out. God, it's 33 minutes. It'll be another long one, but I swear they're going to have more focus. So let's go to, so we've learned all these synths. Omnisphere, I don't know where. I think I got rid of a lot of this. I think I just threw it out. It was just, I had so many. These are all the guitar Guitar rig. Oh my God, look at that latency. New Yami, baritone. Over. It's like a walk down memory lane. Clint coming in. Battle of the Telly. AC 30, 335. Yeah, if you come here, you get it. Guitar analog summing. That's been huge. H9. The H9 left. I was over it. It's a great pedal, just not. Look at Will's 800.
Yeah.
Who wants to hear Will's new 800? Should still be here. Here's. Wait a second. I think these are all yours. This is 800 green. That's the first time your aunt was recorded by us.
Yeah.
And this is his 800 with vintage 30s. And here's a combination of both speakers. It's so nice, dude. And it's red. It's red, man.
Yeah, it's
Good
like
Lord.
red.
So you know what's weird? Like so you listen to the vintage 30s, right? Or the greenbacks. Here's greenbacks. It's nice. It feels very warm. Then you go to vintage 30s. It feels like this, but a lot of times that's better when you're recording.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Pierce, probably the most recorded LA session guitar player of the last 30 years. Everything's vintage 30s. So for guys that poo-poo vintage 30s, I don't know, man. Anyway, and then there's all your different combinations. Here's my 77, which sounds so little. That sounds actually more like AC/DC than yours. Yeah. Yours has more of like, mine's more like, Anyway, and then we went through all the different pedals. Here's yours with the light speed. Here's yours with the OCD. Here's the 808. That 808's nice on that. So is the light speed. And 808. The 808 kind of tightens your amp up.
Yeah.
It is kind of nice.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, that's enough of this. That's the guitar rig. Like I said, this is a strange little walk down. Look at this. All the Recto Uber combo. Oh my God. You should see the comments on the YouTube. People are like, oh my God, your Uberschall destroyed the rectifier. I'm like, well, they're both cool.
Yeah, it's kind of a different thing.
It's a different thing.
The Uberschall has so much like that low end.
Yeah, it's got this. It's more dimension. It's like got more of this. It feels like like the rectifier is more like immediate and kind of right there. Apples and oranges, right? Maybe we should come up with maybe that'll be what makes us big, famous YouTube people. We'll come up with a different expression. We'll say something like apples and turnips.
Potatoes and grapes. I have no idea.
What was it from Ricky Bobby? Peanut butter and girls. There's remember the dude that played with him in that movie? Who wants to hear John C. Reilly? The dude that played Ricky Bobby's sidekick in Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Who wants to hear John C. Reilly's story? Okay, so about 15 years ago, I was standing out front of Burbank Airport waiting to get picked up. And John C. Reilly was sitting there, and there's like a little flyaway where he was sitting on a bench waiting for like a tram or something. And I'm like, oh man, and living in Hollywood and being in the biz, you got to be real careful. You don't, a lot of times these guys don't want to be bothered, and you don't want to come up there and be like, oh my god, you love it. Though sometimes every now you meet somebody, you're like, oh my god. I mean, when I met Dio, I was like, I was kind of stupid time, but I had to say something. I wanted to say something so bad because I was so into like Talladega Nights and some of his movies, and I walk over there, and as I start to walk over there, I have to fart. It's coming on like hard. And I walk up to him and I'm like, oh my god. And I go to walk away and it rips. And it's quiet, but it rips. And I walk away and then I turn around and he's sitting there and he goes like this. He looks at me like, did you just walk over here and crop dust me and walk away? True story. True story, kids. Oh my god. Look at this. Machine Learn has its own folder. That's like its own orbit. It's like you've got within the universe you have separate like solar systems, or it's your own solar system. This didn't happen. All right, we're moving on. So we learned a whole bunch of software. So let's try. Where are we on learn synths? Battery slicing. Oh yeah. MPC swing. Learned how to use the to do the swing on what is it? Not where you line everything up. Quantizing, yeah. So basically, I bought this MPC, the MPC Live, the standalone, and I did a whole course on it, and I really like it, man. I really love it. I enjoyed it. I programmed a song with it for a client, and I really dug it. And then one day I realized, man, right. I'm like, Contact? Don't ruin my life. Oh, Native Instruments is a major buzzkill. Let's go back to things that are more pleasant. Let's talk about Akai. So I had this MPC and I really liked it, and then one day I decided, you know what? I can't do it. Like, I don't want my workflow, because I had to export the scratch track, because I'm not like a beat maker. I'm like a songwriter, so beats have to integrate into like existing music and existing templates with existing tempos in Pro Tools. So I just gave up. I sold it. But then I was like, there were so many things about it that I liked that I started to go, how can I make Battery do this? And I figured it out. Let's see, is this? I don't even know what this is really. So that's the note repeat swing. If we speed it up, I was doing it slow going, 92. That took a long time to figure out how to do, because the note repeat on Akai has its own. Yeah, so I learned that from here. You've got your MPC grooves, all this stuff I didn't know. This is real-time properties. I mean, I never used it like this. I used to just, go whatever I do, option 0 to get event quantizing. So, but this isn't really what I was looking for. All right, so what's weird, I can't figure out why is contact open? Oh, this is left over from some other excursion. This video is long. Superior beat pad scratch. Okay, that's just junk. We'll just do this. We'll open up let's just go back to this and we'll blow it out from here. What is this? Kind of learning how to do them on multiple tracks, but let's do this. Let's go. Let's delete. Let's save as. We'll call this Synths. Learn synths for 44.1. That's another thing that I've kind of gotten into doing is doing the synths, doing the programming more at 44.1 gives me a little bit more room. Oh, I should have just done a bunch of those. Hold on. Duplicate. We'll do 5. Okay. So this is kind of, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm sorry, guys. This is such a ridiculous video. So we went into Synth World and we learned I took courses. He helped me. We took courses in everything. So we'll start. I've really gotten battery down to a science. That's such an amazing, that's the one, man. This is the one, man. And there's like my little 6x4 808 kit, which I can now come here. Is this really even a video? Maybe somebody will enjoy it. I don't know, man. This is ridiculous, but battery. Here we go. Okay, so why does that sound weird? Where am I? What's going on?
Must be a weird kid.
No, they can't. That's just my kit. Sounds like I'm a million miles away.
Sounds like it's just the reverbs coming out. Almost.
Oh, right. Because I didn't bring in the template. Oh my God. Help me, Jesus. All right. Let's pretend this didn't happen. It sounds like just the reverbs. You want to know why it does? Because it is just the reverbs. Oh my God. Help me. Help me. Drum program template. Superior and battery. The battery. Yeah, we'll bring in battery. That template is all set up to go, or that's designed to go through this. There you go. So, and this, you can't send those reverbs out to channels in Pro Tools. So I ended up busing 83, 84 to here, and I call this just the room. So it's the closest thing you've got to a room, right? There it is, buddies. And I've got a pad assignment thing that is like perfect for me. I get it. So you come here. This is just the first one that I put together. Just a little, let's call Lugo 6x4 808 pad, which means it's 6. Because I use a 16 pad, Machina. It's like a Kai. It's like an MPC or type of thing, but it's Native Instruments. So this is like lower left pad, and then it's cross. So it's 4x4, and then I have 2 extra rows in the template so that I can add like another kick here and then link it to this so that when I hit one, I get it. It's just like basically this is really right here is just like a junk bin. I call it not a junk bin, but it's an extras bin. But these 16 are my pad because the way battery comes in, it comes in like linear and from the top. So everything's like backwards. And it was one of the things that I used to not like. It was really designed, I think, for people that wanted to program on a keyboard. It was just like, it was just straight up in half steps. And starting from here, very weird to me. So I checked it out to myself, and now I'm stoked. And I figured out really easy ways to not only build drum sets, but how to implement splice. And here's all the splice, splice organized. These are all organized by me. There's all my splice kicks, So, but I also organized all my own samples. So I've really figured out a way to make these kits really easy. And then if you come here, you get Lugo 6x4 empty. And there it is. There's an empty kit. So I can build a kit for a song and I can save it as the song, or I can save it as like, oh, I like this, and put whatever I want to remind me. But there you go. Perfect. Beautiful. And if everybody wants to clap, we can clap. Or maracas. Anybody want to order Mexican food?
I do.
Who wants to order Mexican food? Oh, I got two of them. Here's the other one. Mexican food?
I want Mexican food.
Do them together. And a clap. Who wants to clap and order Mexican food? It's almost like cha-cha-cha. Okay. I can't even say that we've derailed because this is where we've been since we started this video. It's really just keeping up the standards. And they're high. In theory. So, battery is under control. Man, we got battery. What else did we get going on? Oh man, keyscapes. This one I've done before. This is Coolio in the Julio. Woo! Keyscapes, baby. Then keeping in that thing, we go to Omnisphere, which I did the full course of this. This was a little bit of a project to learn this. And the thing is that I've been learning. Now it's time to flip it and start using this stuff. So it'll be a little bit of a, kind of remembering things and relearning things. But yeah, this is great, man. What a program, man. Omnisphere, went through the entire Groove 3 course. Learned it. Learned this one too. I love this program. Sonic Academy, Anna 2. One thing that they probably, in my opinion, should have not done was call it Sonic Academy Anna 2 in the plugin thing. You can never find, you're like, oh, what's Sonic Ranch is, they had to be different. I went through the whole course on this thing. Come on, Bo. This is such a fantastic. I love this. I love this. I just love this plugin. What's up?
Hey, Dad.
Hey, dude.
I miss you.
I know, I'm coming in.
Okay.
We're almost done. Stay here. Anna is so amazing. And again, a lot of this got influenced from the YouTube channel Make Pop Music, Austin Hull. These are kind of, these two and Serum seem to be they seem to be his jam. And one of my clients is a beat maker and a pop guy, and he got me into this. This Anna is so gorgeous. Oh, I lost it. Why did I lose it? It's like this thing sounds so amazing. And I really came into my own with a little bit of this synth thing because I did the course in Anna after I did Serum. And by the time I got done with Anna, it was like all of a sudden everything was starting to make sense. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh my God, wait a second. Does he have that dog?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was because the Serum was so involved. But by the time I got done with Serum, I was like ready for Anna. And there's Serum. Bass hard. And didn't we get you a Serum?
Yeah.
So Will's got Serum.
Yeah, I love Serum.
Yeah. It's great.
That's my favorite of the.
It lays out nice and easy. It sounds hard too.
Yeah.
You know, Anna's the opposite. Like Anna's more like it's like more warm, a lot of more warm. There's edgy sounds, but it doesn't sound as like intense as Serum. All right, and then what else did we learn? And I mean, we went through full courses with this stuff.
Not massive.
I've just kind of abandoned native instruments other than yeah, after going through Serum, getting on Massive, it's like going from a Harley to like a tricycle. It just feels so weird. Though it sounds very cool, it's the way it works is just it's just like everything with native instruments. It's like everything has to be some sort of like a treasure hunt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just it's like why does it have to be so complicated?
They have great sounds though. Like
Yeah.
yesterday with that song that I showed you, I was using Maverick. That's the piano. That's
You were digging it.
Because I didn't want
Yeah.
grandeur because I didn't want that big.
Yeah, well, and I use Grandeur a lot, and I use their pianos, but that's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to get into
Sounds
the
great.
depth of their stuff sometimes. Anyway, we didn't do that, but what we did do was
Their pianos and battery. What we got?
analog. Yeah, pianos and battery. That's really what the battery is. To me is the best thing that they did for me anyway. There it is, buddy. So,
Arturia.
so this is the V collection, and this thing is crazy. You know, this is just crazy. And I've only played with this briefly over the last 2 weeks because I've been getting everything else put together. But based on the things that I've learned, it's made a lot of this like make more sense. You know, Matrix. And this was on sale for $250, man. I mean, you get like like $20,000 worth of synths, and they sound great. You know, I don't know how close they sound to original. I don't really care. They sound great. So
Probably more than 20,000.
yeah, because I think the Prophet alone or the Jupiter's like 10 grand. Isn't it like really crazy expensive? Anyway, so these are going to be the tools that we're going to be using: the guitar rig, the bass rig, all these software, battery for doing a lot of the programming. We also learned, which I can't seem to find, I learned how to do the what is it? The
Superior?
not just Superior, but how to like chop up. Remember I chopped up the loops and I programmed this. I programmed
Oh, yeah.
Anna. I can't figure out where that is.
Didn't you do that in battery?
Did I do that? Was that in battery?
Pretty sure you did that in battery. I'm like
Let's see.
90%.
Battery contact nerve. Maybe. Yeah. I think. So basically this battery and some of this stuff may seem kind of like very kind of trite or elementary, but I'm learning this stuff. What's
You
up?
said that when you Facebook Live that turn.
No, that's if I use the Zoom camera. Come here, Schmoops.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna wrap it up. We're wrapping it up.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
When do you get to come in?
All right, stay with me on this. We're gonna finish this. Anyway, this might seem kind of trite, but this was a culmination of a lot I learned. note repeat in there with my, I ended up just going 10% swing. That was general and I liked it. This is battery. I chopped up a little loop and made a loop out of it. Those are all splice samples. Like, this is all far out to me, right? Note repeat in there. And this is where I learned contact. This is where I took a single note, this Celeste note. It was like a little bell, and I put it in across the keyboard and learned how to use, it's called Use Time Machine Pro, so that each one of them became the note, and as you went higher, speed up. So what I did, that's one note, and then I made this. You can tell I was around when they were making beats in the West Coast 2000s. That's very kind of Dr. Dre. And then I was learning Nerve, which that's next. I haven't really delved into that. This is cool. This is Serum's like drum machine brother. Well, this was literally like at the last 2 minutes. I just put it in and went, okay, let's just put it together. And then I put it all together. What do you think, Will? You ready to bust 16?
Yeah.
Okay, he says, yeah. Sounded convincing. Now, the thing is, the last thing I wanted to play is the synth thing that I made. Remember? I programmed Anna with samples and I made a pad. Did I throw that out?
I don't remember.
I don't see that. I may have chucked that because I was cleaning out. I had so much stuff. Yeah, I think, man, what a bummer. Wait a second. Why would I have done that, though? That's not really like me. Yeah, I didn't make it in the templates. Yeah, I must have chucked it. I'm looking at date modified. All right, whatever. Anyway, but I programmed. Yeah, it's gone. All right, no worries. But I programmed Anna and made a synth and made a pad and did a whole loop with it and chopped it up and used the contact sampler and then also battery. And so that's it. The whole thing. Now it's all put together. Now it's all organized. I've got a good fundamental understanding of a lot of new things. Now it's time to make noise. We got a ton of music to make. We got a bunch of programming to do. I've got Superior Drummer, really good. I'll just open that really quick and then we'll move right on and end this. Yeah, I've got Superior Drummer set up, and then I've got it also set up where you can go between the different Machina templates. Because a battery is different setup than Superior or Addictive. And you know what I just got? I got one more. I was like, let me get one more program, one more pack, like an expansion pack for Superior. And everybody's talking about Hansa. The rooms of Hansa. I don't know, it's someplace in Belgium or somewhere in Europe. Man, I don't know, man. I'm not really totally feeling it. I that's what I set up the other night, and I put together a bunch into the template. And they're okay. They're definitely not my favorite. I love this Music City default. This is one of the early Bye.